Deputy Director of the Department of Trade, Investment, Promotion, and Consumer Affairs, Dr. Lincoln Bobb, has outlined several initiatives aimed at supporting micro, small, and medium enterprises, while acknowledging that parts of the current trade licensing process remain outdated. Speaking on the program Talking Points, Dr. Bobb highlighted the range of grants and volunteer support available to entrepreneurs. He highlighted that volunteers from various industries are lending their expertise to help new and existing businesses strengthen their operations and strategies. During the discussion, questions were raised about whether the Department of Trade should have the authority to grant or refuse trade licenses based on the applicant's qualifications and interest in the specific sector. Dr. Bobb acknowledged the concerns but emphasized the need for balance between regulatory oversight and encouraging entrepreneurship.
What you're describing is really a tricky balance for us. We do have to look at the interests of the people who are actually going to buy the service on the other end of it. And we do have to analyze all your submissions. And based on your submissions, of course, me not being here, I'm very objective because, I don't know. Right. And so as you suggested, it would have been, people being a little bit subjective or selective. But I tend to go through the necessary requirements, and those requirements are this, and this.
I got you.
And try to see how best.
No, I mean, when you think about it,
but I don't want to discredit what your point was.
Right.
And those are things that we are constantly looking at, and we have to find that balance because we do want to encourage development of businesses.
As part of efforts to make business development more accessible, an entrepreneurship zone is being established, which will allow qualifying businesses to benefit from reduced rent and utility costs. Dr. Bobb also noted that MSMEs seeking to access grants must undergo a vetting process, which includes interviews to ensure that support is directed to viable and impactful initiatives. For more information, the public is asked to contact the department at bvinbb@gov.vg.
As far as the grant is concerned, we look at you have to have good standing. That gets you into the door. Right? Our obligations also, as a government organization, we can't be using public funding and giving it to people who don't even honor paying their NHI and their Social Security and their tax and those things. We have to look at those things. And that, after we do that, you have to have a proper business plan. What do you plan to do with this money? How is it going to benefit your business? Give us some history of what has happened. If it is that you want to develop, or if it is that your business is coming on hard times because of some situation and those things, we need to get enough information, and that information goes into our overall analysis. Now, I'm not the only one that does the analysis. I'm just part of one of the persons in the committee. The committee was appointed by the by the cabinet. It comes together, we sit down, we analyze each one of these people and see, or each one of these entrepreneurs or businesses, and see, who we think has the best plan, that they have a nice history that showed that they were trying different things, they want to have growth and those things. And we sit down, we have a dialogue on it, and then we decide who the top based on how far we could stretch the money, how are the top people. Right.
He further revealed that an angel investor program is under consideration to provide alternative funding opportunities for startups and small businesses seeking capital. He also admitted that the current trade license application process is archaic, requiring individuals to physically visit the department to submit applications. Modernizing the system, he said, is a priority.
One of the things that we are having, and I have budgeted for, and I have numerous discussion with the Premier and other people about, is how do we digitize it? And of course, I am in the ministry that is about digital transformation also. So we have spoken to, actually just 2 weeks ago, we were actually talking to do it. We also have discussion with Ms. Ayana Glasgow about different ways in which we could actually get to digitize. Is it digitize or digitalize? Digitalize the entire process. And once we do that, we want people to be able to pay a trade license online, and but we need to have the necessary infrastructure in place. We also want to make sure that, of course, when you start to digitalize one system, it has spillover effects on different things. So it might have also spillover effects on labor, immigration, all those sort of different things. So we have to
be interlinked.
Yeah, it has to be interlinked, and we have to. Of course, that will happen over a period of time. So, I went to Cayman Islands, and we recognize that those things are possible. How they have done it and how they have laid out certain things is very interesting to see, and we can do that very easily here.
Interesting. Bobb went on to explain the triple helix model, which involves collaboration between government, academia, and the private sector to drive innovation and economic growth. He is also considering releasing a comprehensive report that would make key sector information publicly accessible to help entrepreneurs make informed decisions. Clip.
So the triple helix model really focuses on combining the efforts of three entities: the government, the businesses, as well as research institutions. Now, the research institutions do what they do best. They, which are like universities and stuff, they constantly looking for cutting edge information, doing new research and those things that can actually help the businesses, right? So that the businesses are really like the persons implementing, but because competitiveness is so important, the injection of knowledge is very important to ensure that competitiveness is maintained. But at the same point in time, we understand that the government, through their policies and through their legislation, they create the proper environment. And of course, that will be necessary for each country. So, BVI being a small economy, how do I create the proper legislation and policies to ensure that businesses operate and function and be able to be competitive? So all three of them come together to really create a certain level of innovation and enable the companies to be very competitive.